Of gunmen is on the run after terrorizing parts of Nashville overnight. We are told they hit 4 areas of town within an hour before fleeing the scene at this location in Germantown. That's where they rear-ended the victim at this intersection, then robbed and shot him when he walked out to check the damage to his car. It's a disturbing new trend targeting innocent drivers called a bump and rob. Police believe those suspects are also responsible for robbing and shooting another person on Elm Hill Pike just 15 minutes earlier. Before that, detectives say the suspects robbed 2 other people in South Nashville. Witnesses say the suspects were in a silver Nissan SUV. The 2 people shot overnight are expected to survive. Neighbors are scrambling to pull their own personal surveillance videos to try and help investigators in the search for the body of Joe Clyde Daniels. Dickson County Sheriff Jeff Bledsoe is asking for home security footage from April the 3rd through the 6th. There are 17 specific roads that deputies are looking for in the area of Garners Creek Road, where the Daniels lived. We have a list of all those roads on newschannel5.com right now. Joe Clyde was reported missing 2 weeks ago. His parents are charged in his death. Just a day after a woman was killed on Southwest plane, another Southwest flight had to return to Nashville after takeoff this morning. The airline says birds hit the plane after it left for Phoenix. No one was hurt, and that aircraft is now out of service. Meanwhile, we are learning new details about the mid-air engine explosion that killed a passenger. As Chris Van Cleve shows us, the pilot is being called a hero.
Roughly 20 minutes after takeoff at about 32,000 feet, Southwest Flight 1380's left engine exploded. The blast sent shrapnel tearing through one of the plane's windows, causing the cabin to lose pressure.
I thought I was cataloging the last moments of my existence. It felt like it was free-falling.
Terrified passengers like Marty Martinez reached for oxygen masks as the plane rapidly descended.
They said there was a hole and someone went out.
Jennifer Reardon was killed after she was partially sucked out of the shattered window. Other passengers pulled her back in and tried unsuccessfully to perform CPR. NTSB Chairman Robert Sumwalt.
The fan section that we're talking about today is designed such that if a part does come off, it would not be catastrophic for the airplane. Had this window not been punctured, today's event would have just been another emergency landing.
Passengers called Captain Tammy Jo Schultz a hero for safely landing the damaged plane. According to friends at her alma mater, Schultz was among the first female fighter pilots in the U.S. Navy.
She has nerves of steel. That lady, I applaud her. I'm going to send her a Christmas card.
Tuesday's engine failure is not the first for Southwest linked to metal fatigue. In August 2016, a similar event occurred on a flight to Orlando. That 737 landed safely with no one hurt, but metal from the engine sliced into the fuselage.
We are very concerned about it. There needs to be proper inspection mechanisms in place to check for this before there's a catastrophic event.
The NTSB found signs of metal fatigue in a fan blade inside the engine here in Philadelphia that broke off. That may be what caused this accident. Now, after the 2016 engine failure, the FAA had been moving to require additional enhanced inspections of certain CFM engines for metal fatigue. Those are older engines similar to the one on this 737. Chris Van Cleve, CBS News, Philadelphia.
They met when they were 16 and 17 years old and were married the longest of any presidential couple. Former First Lady Barbara Bush is being remembered this morning as a fiercely loyal wife and mother and selfless public servant. Mrs. Bush died at her home in Houston last night at the age of 92. The funeral on Saturday will be at the family's church in Texas and will be by invitation only. Former President George H.W. Bush is said to be brokenhearted about the loss of his wife, but is being lifted up by his large and supportive family.